Guys, after subscribing to this channel, please make sure that you also press the bell icon so that no notification, no new video of mine, any educational video, is missed by anybody.
We begin our class today. We'll be discussing about the development of the central nervous system, which I'll be telling you in short because, like I said, as gynecologist, you need to focus your cells on more on the organ systems that you're in direct contact with, like the GI tract and the urogenital system, on which I'll be taking a detailed class next section, right? Right now, we're going to be focusing more on basically the GI system, but a little bit about the CNS as well. So let's begin with the starting of this. See, last class, if you people have seen the last class, so you must have seen this this kind of structure. Guys, if you will be a little more, interactive with me, things will become a little easy to roll because then I'll be able to understand where you are having problems. Okay, you can always write it down in the chat system on the Telegram channel itself. Okay, you don't have to unmute and speak because that causes a little problem in recording and last time there were little glitches of audio system as well. So just write down whatever you feel like and please let me know, especially the questions that I'm asking you. So in the last class, we spoke something regarding this system, right? I had taken you till this part. I hope you do remember the primitive streak, the primitive node, the notochord process, and the part of oropharyngeal membrane and the cloacal membrane. Because here we are going to discuss one step further. So first of all, we'll be discussing something like embryonic folding, right? So let's discuss what exactly embryonic folding is, and I'll tell you what is the significance of this embryonic folding. And this video has audio. So just in case you're not able to hear the audio, let me know.
During the 4th week of development, a period of rapid growth, the embryo begins to change shape from a flat trilaminar disc into a cylinder.
Can you appreciate that? This is what is happening. This is a flat surface and now it's like folding like this. And mind you, the folding is not only like this, the folding is also like this. Okay? Like this. So there are two kinds of folding. One is like you fold the paper into a roll and then you fold that roll also on top of it. Just remember what I told you. There'll be a significance to both these foldings, okay? So right now, just imagine that this was the bilaminar disc, okay, like this. And now it's folding into a roll, like this shown.
A process known as embryonic folding. Embryonic folding occurs in two planes, the horizontal plane and the median plane.
What I just told you, okay? The horizontal plane and the median.
And is the result of differing rates of growth of the embryonic structures. Folding of the embryo in the horizontal plane results in the development of two lateral body folds.
These are the two lateral body folds, okay? This is in the horizontal plane they're trying to say, okay? So just listen to this. I'll tell you each and everything later on.
Folding in the median plane results in the development of the cranial and caudal folds.
Cranial and caudal fold is something like this, okay? This is the part of cranium. It is folded into like this. Haven't you seen the fetus? It's like this, okay? It's in a full attitude of flexion, right? So the cranial and the caudal folds, that's how they fold like this, okay?
Folding in both of these planes takes place simultaneously, resulting in the rapid development of the embryo. The cylinder consists of 3 layers derived from the trilaminar embryonic disc. These are the endoderm, the innermost layer, the ectoderm, the outermost layer, and the mesoderm, located in between.
This we had studied in the last class. I left you at this point in time so that you know how the gastrulation takes place, and now you know that you have endoderm, ectoderm, and mesoderm right now in front of you. Right? So you have this basics right there in front of you. And you, in a way, you also know that this part of it was a yolk sac and some part of it, this kind of cavity was the amniotic cavity. So these basically are the amniotic cavity. This particular in between, this is the embryo proper. From here, all the germ layers are there. The body structure is going to start from these 3 germ layers. And what is this? This huge pocket. This is your your yolk sac, secondary yolk sac right now.
The endoderm of the trilaminar disc is mainly responsible for the formation of the gastrointestinal tract. As embryonic folding continues, the endoderm moves towards the midline and fuses, incorporating the dorsal part of the yolk sac to create the primitive gut tube.
This is very important because this is the origin of the GI tract over here, but also the origin of the CNS will also be discussed over here only. Okay, so please understand that everything right now, the whole embryology is like continuously happening. Okay, even if I'll talk to you about the urogenital sinus, I'll probably be playing this video again. When I talk about GI tract again, I'll be playing this video again. So because all these things are happening together, right? So the same thing is happening and is responsible for the development of, respiratory tract, GI tract, CNS as well. Currently, what they're trying to focus on is the endoderm is the one which finally is responsible for the formation of the GI tract, and how is what they're trying to tell you. So it kind of pinches. It's like folding, and so obviously because a round structure suddenly folding on itself. So there'll be some part which is going to, bear the brunt. This is the one, this cavity is the one which bears the brunt. It gets pinched off. And this part is forming a rough GI tube, a gut tube. Let's see what happens further.
The primitive gut tube differentiates into three main parts: the foregut, midgut, and hindgut.
I'll be taking all of these separately because right now you just know that the primitive gut tube is going to form the foregut, the midgut, and the hindgut. So what all structures are there in the foregut, midgut, and hindgut? I'm going to be discussing when we talk about the GI tract.
The foregut can be seen at the cranial or head end of the embryo. It is temporarily closed by the oropharyngeal membrane.
I hope you do remember when I spoke about the buccopharyngeal membrane and the cloacal membrane when we were discussing the early phases when this mesoderm was recently formed and there was a connection between the endoderm and the ectoderm right at the caudal and the cranial end. One forming the buccopharyngeal membrane, the other one forming the cloacal membrane. I hope you do remember that.
Which at the end of the 4th week of development ruptures to form the mouth.
Yes.
The midgut lies between the fore and hindgut and remains connected to the yolk sac until the 5th week of development. As embryonic folding continues, the connection to the yolk sac narrows into a stalk known as the vitellin duct.
Can you see this stalk as a very small stalk which is, a kind of pinching away? At the same time, can you see something over here? Remember this is the allantois. It's a part of the endoderm only which is kind of pinching away. Okay, it's not forming the proper hindgut, but somehow it'll later on contribute to the hindgut. So it's a part of endodermal lining which is again pinching away, like this is also pinching away, right? Remember the term allantois.
The hindgut lies at the caudal or tail end of the embryo. It is temporarily closed by the cloacal membrane, which during the 7th week of development ruptures to form the urogenital and anal openings. As a result of embryonic folding, the major body plan is established, and the 3 germ layers continue to differentiate.
Now can you understand this? This is the cephalocranial folding. But at the same time, there's another folding, the lateral body folds. You can take the hands and the legs, something like that, roughly. So this is how finally it looks like. Now I'd like you to take to another important video only, because this is the video in which we'll be discussing about the development of the nervous system, the central nervous system.